A $2 billion terminal is about to be built at John Glenn Airport in Columbus, Ohio. Bigger, better, and ready for the future. But here's the twist. Everyone's talking about this project for all the wrong reasons. It's not the design or the crazy price tag, it's something way more intense. If things don't change, this entire $2 billion airport expansion could come to a screeching halt. So what happens when you have a massive airport project, big money on the line, and an army of workers ready to shut it down? Well, let's discuss it in today's episode of Built Up. Columbus is getting a huge airport upgrade with a brand new $2 billion terminal at John Glenn Columbus International Airport. It's all about making travel easier, handling more passengers, and giving the whole place a modern world-class feel. Over the years, John Glenn Columbus International Airport has seen a steady increase in air travel, which has put a strain on its existing facilities. In 2019, the airport served about 8.6 million passengers, and that number is expected to keep growing as the region's population expands and business activity increases. The current terminal was built to handle fewer passengers, and it's becoming outdated with limited capacity and infrastructure to keep up with modern demands. Right now, they're still in the design phase, but construction is expected to start in early 2025. If everything goes as planned, the new terminal should be ready by late 2028 or early 2029. The Columbus Regional Airport Authority is leading the project, with Gensler Moody Nolan handling the design. On the construction side, Hensel Phelps is in charge, working alongside local firm Elford. So who's paying for all of this? The airport isn't relying just on taxpayers. About $1.2 billion is coming from airport revenue bonds, while the rest will be covered by federal grants, airline tenant fees, and parking revenues. That means travelers who use the airport will indirectly help fund it, but in return, they'll get a much improved experience. And it's going to be a big improvement. The new terminal will expand from 29 to 36 gates, allowing it to handle up to 13 million passengers a year, quite a jump from the 8.6 million it served in 2019. The security checkpoint will be streamlined, there'll be a central marketplace with better dining options, and sustainability is a major focus, with smart glass and a reclaimed water system built into the design. This isn't just a facelift, it's a major step forward for Columbus. By the time it's finished, flying in and out of CMH should be a much smoother and more enjoyable experience, and the city will have an airport that matches its rapid growth. The new terminal at John Glenn Columbus International Airport isn't just a bigger building, it's a complete reimagining of the airport experience. But don't get too excited, because this project was plagued from the get-go. But more on that later. First, let's see what the terminal looks like inside. Now, before we move on to the next section, please don't forget to subscribe if you like the video so far. Designed with both efficiency and passenger comfort in mind, it blends modern aesthetics with practical features that make travel easier and more enjoyable. The terminal's Y-shaped design is inspired by the meeting of the Olentangy and Scioto rivers, symbolizing connectivity and movement. Its curved roofline reflects the rolling landscapes of the Midwest, giving it a natural, welcoming feel. Inside, travelers will be greeted by a spacious, light-filled atrium that provides clear views of the airfield and even the Columbus skyline. It's designed to make the airport feel more open, airy, and less like a chaotic transit hub. Now, one of the biggest improvements is the centralized security checkpoint. Instead of navigating multiple lines, passengers will go through a streamlined system that leads directly into a marketplace-style concourse. The terminal will house 36 gates, including 2 dedicated to international arrivals, making it much more equipped to handle Columbus's growing passenger numbers. Waiting areas will also be significantly larger, offering 40 to 60% more space than the current terminal, so travelers won't feel cramped while waiting for their flights. The marketplace at the heart of the terminal will showcase local dining and shopping options, creating a more relaxed atmosphere where people can grab a meal or shop while keeping an eye on their gate. The design also prioritizes accessibility, with sensory rooms for travelers who need a quiet space, larger family restrooms, pet relief areas, and multiple nursing rooms. Sustainability is a huge focus too. The terminal will feature energy-efficient smart glass that adjusts to light levels, reducing glare while keeping the space bright and comfortable. LED and motion sensor lighting will help cut down on energy use, and there'll be 250 electric vehicle charging stations for passengers driving to the airport. Getting to and from the terminal will also be easier. A pedestrian bridge will connect directly to a new 5,000 space parking garage, making the transition from car to check-in much smoother. Whether arriving or departing, travelers will find the new setup far more convenient than the current layout. Overall, this terminal isn't just an upgrade, it's a game changer for Columbus. It's designed to handle more passengers, make travel more comfortable, and reflect the city's growing importance as a major travel hub. But before it can become even a simple travel hub, it needs to be built, and that's nearly impossible without the help of unions, especially in a city like Ohio. Ohio has deep roots in the labor movement, and unions have played a huge role in shaping the state's workforce. Columbus was actually the birthplace of the American Federation of Labor, AFL, in 1886, making Ohio a major player in labor history. Over the years, unions have fought for better wages, safer conditions, and reasonable work hours, helping build the strong middle class that powered Ohio's industrial boom. When it comes to big projects like the new $2 billion terminal at John Glenn Columbus International Airport, unions are usually a key part of the process. Large-scale construction in Ohio often relies on project labor agreements, PLAs, which set terms for pay, benefits, and working conditions to ensure projects run smoothly. But this time, there's no PLA in place, and that's causing some serious tension. Without an agreement, unions are warning of potential strikes, slowdowns, or labor shortages, all of which could lead to delays and cost overruns. If disputes escalate, the project could face significant setbacks, making the airport's ambitious 2028-2029 timeline harder to meet. Unions have been a force for good in Ohio, protecting workers and ensuring fair pay. But if there's no resolution on this project, their involvement, or lack of cooperation, could end up being a major roadblock rather than a benefit. And speaking of roadblocks, unions hold a lot of power in large-scale construction projects, and if they're not on board, they can make life very difficult for the new terminal at John Glenn Columbus International Airport. The most direct way they can stop progress is through a strike. If unionized workers refuse to show up, construction grinds to a halt. Even without an outright strike, they can slow things down with work-to-rule tactics, where workers follow every regulation to the letter, dramatically reducing efficiency. On top of that, picketing can create another major issue. If union members protest at the site, it can discourage non-union workers and subcontractors from crossing the line, leading to labor shortages. Another challenge is workforce availability. Unions control a huge portion of the skilled labor market in Ohio, and if they feel they're being pushed aside, they can simply prioritize other projects. That means fewer experienced workers for the terminal, which could lead to delays and increased costs. Beyond that, unions can also file legal complaints over labor practices, tying the project up to bureaucracy and further slowing things down. If the airport authority wants to avoid these problems, they need to work with the unions by negotiating a project labor agreement. That means guaranteeing fair wages, solid benefits, and safe working conditions in exchange for labor stability. No strikes, no slowdowns, no disruptions. They'll also need to prove that this project benefits workers rather than undercutting them. Without that agreement, they risk constant delays, higher costs, and a much longer road to completion. So, do you think this $2 billion project will begin construction in 2025, or will Ohio's unions put an early end to it? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, here's another video mega project enthusiasts enjoyed watching. Bye for now.